So yesterday was class number 5, the punch block series 1 through 4, and the standing guillotine. And I didn't record it yesterday. Yesterday was super duper busy. I'm exhausted. If you can't tell, I'm really tired. It is early, very early on Saturday morning, but I figured I should record this now while my son gets a haircut before I go down to Gracie University again to take class number, I forget whatever it is, but to take Saturday morning's class. All that to say, I owe you guys a video, and here it comes. So yesterday morning, 7 a.m. class was fantastic because just like the first time I took this class, kind of like the second time, but really like the first time I took this class, it was a fight. It was a struggle. It was a hustle. The guys that I was working with, we were a group of 3 because there's an odd number of people in class. And of course, nobody wants to partner with the big guy, except I did, because there was a guy named Joe, and he was a very big guy. I don't know where he's from, perhaps Samoan. I'm not sure. He had, some cool tattoos, but he was a big, strong guy named Joe. We had another guy named Sam. That was our group of 3. And we start training, and I gotta tell you, man, from the very beginning, as soon as we started working on the guillotine, our instructor, Danny, was saying, we're gonna start by defending the takedown. If someone were to shoot, putting the hands on the shoulders, then of course the forearms, and then the guillotine. And the intensity when these guys started was magnificent, because it wasn't like la 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 la. They really came at me. I was like, oh damn, it's like surprise. So I went back at them. So it was nice and fun. And I really had to use my weight and my base to hold those guys off. They were really coming at me for the shots. It wasn't 100% intensity, but I'd say it was at least 50, maybe 60, maybe 70. I don't know. And oh my God, when we finally got time to work out the punch block series 1 through 4, I fought for every inch of getting my arms in and getting to my feet and everything. It was a great, excellent, magnificent struggle. My only sad part is there's a group of 3, so I had to wait my turn multiple times. But I felt like I got a good workout. I felt like I got a good feel for 2 bigger, stronger dudes trying to hold me down or keep me out of trying to pin me down or trying to get to me with punches and whatever. It was fantastic. I really took away a good tip. Sam, one of the guys that I was training with, was saying, hey man, when you go to stage 2, and if you've done this class before, you know what it is, I needed to make my legs wider. And I'm not the most flexible guy in the world, but spreading my knees wider was able to give me more control and had less effort on my part, because the way I was doing it before, I wasn't spreading my knees as widely as I should, and I was more like squeezing my legs together rather than just framing, bracing, the little gooseneck and holding on, because I wasn't, I guess, wide enough to really block. It was blocking, but it wasn't blocking like it should. So pro tip, if your stage 2 doesn't work amateur tip, if your stage 2 isn't working the way you think it should, try widening the legs a little bit if you're flexible enough, and then you can kind of hold on a little bit easier. It makes the effort a little less. But standing guillotine was fantastic. I really liked one of the things Danny said with the you've heard it before. If you heard this before, in the class I usually say you gotta dip, hip, and then zip up the jacket. But one of the things Danny was saying is when you dip, it's not so much a side crunch almost. He was saying it's more like reaching through. I call it the yo-ho, like the old Pirates of the Caribbean yo-ho. More of a yo-ho motion than a dip, like side crunch motion. I think before I was doing more of a side crunch, more of a dip, if you will. And he was saying the dip should come from that digging and the reaching, or the it's hard to explain. Not pulling up and then zipping the jacket, but maybe zipping some new wave diagonal jacket. I don't know. I'd have to more show you than tell you. But if your guillotine isn't working the way you should and you're going up, try going through, and maybe that might make a little bit of a difference. But yeah, that's my 3rd time taking the class. I checked that one off the list, and this morning I think it's elevator sweep, so I'm going to check that one off the list as well. So I'm a little tired. If you can't see it in my face or hear it in my voice, my son's in there getting a haircut because he's got picture day on Monday, so we had to get an early appointment to make sure he got ready for picture day. And I'm going to head to Jiu-Jitsu here in about an hour and a half and get my train on again. So you'll probably see another video. You might even see it in this same stinking t-shirt. But I will be wearing a new gi. Yesterday was the warehouse sale at Gracie University HQ, and I gotta tell you, man, I cleaned up. If you guys ever hear about the warehouse sale going on at Gracie University, you should come down and take a class that day so you can raid the warehouse sale, because I came up like a boss. I'm not gonna tell you, actually I am gonna tell you everything I got. I got 3 t-shirts, I got 3 gis, I got a quick flip hoodie, and I got a quick flip windbreaker. And it was less money than pretty much 1 gi, all right? Than like 1 brand new gi. If you wanted the new hot gi, what is it, the Midnight Wave or whatever, that price, I probably paid less than that gi price for all the stuff I just named, y'all. So I'm a fan of the warehouse sale. But I'm a fan of all things Gracie University. Hell, I'm wearing this shirt right now. So if you have any questions, feelings, thoughts, opinions on class number 5, if you have any questions about the guillotine, if you have any comments on the Punch Block Series 1 through 4, let me know in the comments. If you just want to say hi, let me know in the comments. And we're getting closer, y'all. I'm getting closer and closer to completing this card and closer to taking this test. So I need you to be patient with me because I don't know how soon it's going to happen, but I am working on it. So I need you to do 3 things. Stay focused, stay positive, and always stay vigilant. Take care.